Hey everyone, I'm Lauren from My Something Beautiful Life. It is no secret, Erin Condren comes out with a lot of different writing tools and pens, highlighters, markers, things like that. And as somebody who absolutely loves pens and loves trying new pens, I have tried a lot of them. And so today I just wanted to talk about a few of my favorites and some of my not so favorites. And then at the end I have a couple of honorable mentions too. So let's just jump right into it. I'm actually going to start with my not so favorite pens, and pretty high on that list is these, let's see, it is the Metallic Click Pen Duo. So I'm not going to remember when these came out. I know it's been 2 years, maybe 2 years ago. I don't even know. It's been a while. So you get these two pens, which that one's kind of stuck in there right now. Okay, so you have two pens. There's a silver and a gold. These are ballpoint pens. Honestly, they don't have very many redeeming features. They are very lightweight pens. They're just made out of plastic. They actually do not write that great. In fact, let me see if I can get my notebook. Okay, I meant to grab this before, but I forgot, so we're gonna do it now. Okay, so this is my pen test notebook. So we will write with them. So they're not the great at writing, which honestly most ballpoint pens aren't. I think one of the major issues I have with them is just how lightweight they feel. They're just not fun to write with. They just feel cheap. And so for that reason, they are not my favorite. The one redeeming feature that they do have is that they are actually kind of fun to click. They just make a very satisfying noise, and so that much I do like about them. But overall, I just don't like writing with them. So those ones are definitely out. The next ones that I have are also ballpoint pens. I think we're noticing a trend here. So these are the designer pens that they used to come out with when they launched the new life planners. The pen itself, I love. I think these are gorgeous pens. They are heavy, good quality pens. So that much I love about them. What I don't love is basically that they're ballpoint and they kind of act like a ballpoint pen. I mean, honestly, they don't write much better than these ones do. So for that reason, they were just never my favorite. I could never get into them, but they're beautiful. So if you liked ballpoint pens, then you probably would have loved them, although I don't know if they sell any more of them. I know they haven't released any more recently, and so I don't know if they have any of the old ones still on the site, but I don't think they do. I would say for a ballpoint pen, I guess they're pretty decent, but they just don't write as smooth as I would like. I've had ballpoint pens that write smoother, and so for that reason, I'm just not a fan of them. And then the last one that I have, I mean, there have probably been more pens over the years that I don't like, but these are the ones that stood out to me the most, and they're the ones I could find. I may not have even bought the other ones. Okay, so these ones are, what are they even called? They're the ones that have the little stamps on the tip of them. I just can't get behind it. For one, they don't stamp cleanly. I feel like when you do it, you have to kind of move it around in order to get the mark, and then it's so thick that it's going to bleed through the paper. And I know that they have some that have different designs now, but these ones that I got, they only have two different designs. They have the asterisk and then they have the circle here. I really don't have a use for these. I suppose that they were made to be checklists. In fact, that's probably what the name is. I think they're the checklist markers, something like that. But to me, it kind of just reminds me of elementary school. And to be honest, I didn't really like the stamp markers when I was in elementary school either. Now, the redeeming feature that these ones have is that on the other side of them, they have a black felt tip marker that I actually really like. I mean, it's pretty standard with most of the felt tip markers that Erin Condren has, especially when they do the dual tip where they have one on each side. It's about the same as those. So if you have other ones that are the dual tip and they have the black felt tip on one side, which I do actually have one of those to show you in a minute too. So if you have something like that, you could definitely just pass on these. I know some people really love these, and so if that's you, leave me a comment. I want to know, what do you use them for? Because I just don't get it. They're just not my favorite thing. Okay, so now let's talk about the pens that I love. I actually don't think these ones are available anymore, which is really sad. because these were one of my favorites. But I have seen them come out with other versions since then, and so they might have a variation of that on the site that you could get. In fact, I will look and see if I can find something that looks like it would be similar, and I will link them below, because these exact ones, you can't find them anywhere. But I love these. So these are felt tip pens. They are extremely fine, and they write so nicely. They are very bold colors. I think even the yellow was pretty bold. Let me try, because it seems like it was a really good, yeah, it's a nice like dark yellow. So I just love these. I think they write really well, and I've just been super happy with them. So for colored pens, which I don't use colored pens a whole lot, but they are just one of my favorites. And they do have a black one too. So if you wanted black or blue, you can still write with those. But these are definitely good pens. Okay, and these ones are something that is still available on the site. In fact, these are pretty new. These are the new highlighters. They match the themes of the planner for the year. So I don't know which one's which, but I do have the sets for canvas and for, oh, what's the flower one called? Bold Blooms. So somewhere in here are both of those sets, but I don't know which one's which. In fact, I think I might be missing one because I only have 11 pens here. So somewhere I have another one floating around. But these ones have quickly become some of my favorites. Part of it is that I love the colors. I love all the muted colors that they have been coming out with lately, and so I just kind of gravitate towards any pens that they have for those. There's no way I'm going to be able to write this straight, so we'll just do the best we can. So just wanted to show you a few of them, but I really love these highlighters. They are nice and bold. They write really well, and they just are the prettiest colors, and I think that's part of it. And then on the other side of them too, they actually have more of a bold tip, which is also a really nice option. If you remember the dual tip markers that Erin Condren used to sell, I think every once in a while you can find them still. I think they may still have them in the stores, but for the most part they don't have them anymore. But the bold tip reminds me of those, and I used to use those all the time. Well, I still use them because I have most of them. So I just love having that bold tip option, and I use highlighters all the time. So highlighters, in general, highlighters are going to be one of my favorite things that they come out with. In fact, two of my next ones are also highlighters. Okay, so the next one that I have are these. These are the Focus dual tip markers, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they have the name Focus in there somewhere. These ones, again, I love the colors. These ones are a little bit thinner of a chisel tip, if I can get to the chisel tip. They are not quite as big as these ones are, which I love that too. I don't care what the thickness of it is. And they also have really pretty colors. And then on the other side of it, it's actually a fine tip pen. And so these are just another one of my staples. I use these ones all the time. In fact, I usually don't use these two, but I will use these for color coding my planner like almost every month. If I'm not using these, I'm probably using these ones. So I just love to color code my monthly planner, and I always use some of these muted highlighters for it. My planner that I'm using right now is the A5 Daily Duo Inserts, and it is the Bold Blooms pattern. And so all of these pens just go really well with it. All right, and then the next pens that I have are these dual tip highlighters. I have two different sets here. I also have some of the smaller packs that they came out with. These are some of my favorites. I love them so much. They have really pretty colors. These ones are more bright. They're not so muted. I made little labels for these ones, and then these ones you can actually see what colors they are on the barrel, which thank you for that. I love it when they do this. This is so hard for me to know what color it is, which is why I had to make my own labels. And they're actually kind of falling off, so I should probably put them back on with packing tape or something like that. But in general, these are just some of my favorite pens. So these ones also have the tip on them the way the dot markers do, or the, what is it, list markers that I showed you. Some of these have ones that are in coordinating colors. So I think these ones, are these ones all black? Oh, they are all black. These are the ones that are in coordinating colors. Okay, so these ones have all black tips on the fine point side, and then the colorful highlighters. And these ones actually have coordinating colors, so it's a different color than the highlighter is. It's a little bit darker. So a good example is this one is like a gray highlighter, and then it's got the black tip marker on it. So these are also really fun to use, but I think I just really like the dual tip pens. I like having the option, and that seems to be something that I gravitate towards. I just really like the dual tips. Okay, so I don't remember where this went. We'll put it in there somewhere. Okay, and then the last one I have to show you that I just really, really love are the dot markers. And then these ones also have a chisel tip on the opposite side, but I rarely use that. I usually just use the dot tip side. And these work really well for me. Okay, so I have tried the Zig Clean Color dot markers. I did not have good luck with them. They came out kind of splotchy. They bled through the page like pretty much any paper. They bled through it. And these ones work perfectly. They don't bleed through anything for me. The color comes out nice and clear. My only complaint about these is that these are the only two colors out of the pack that I really like. They recently just came out with some that are glitter markers, and so I'm probably going to get those, but I really wish they would just come out with more basic colors. Like if they did these in all of these colors, I would be so happy. Even if they did them in like the normal rainbow colors, that would be fun too. I just wish they had more colors, because these really are the only two that I used. It's like a dark blue, and then this one is more like a, I don't know, a tan color. But the other ones I kind of just don't like the colors of. Some of them are really light, but these ones I love, and I just love that they don't bleed through the page and they just work really well. I also love that the dot that they make is a little bit smaller than the Zig markers. I feel like the Zig ones come out really big, so I like the smaller dot that it makes. So those are the 5 pens that I really loved. And then of course I have 2 honorable mentions that I want to bring up too. And I will explain why each of them got that title. Okay, so the first one we have is this. Again, I don't know if they still sell these on the website, but if they do, I really like this pen. This is a ballpoint pen, which for me is pretty rare that I like a ballpoint pen. They have to be really good for me to like them. And this one does. It has really smooth ink. It writes so nicely. So as for ballpoint pens, I really like it. The only reason I'm giving it an honorable mention is because it's a ballpoint and I still gravitate towards gel pens. But I think they did a really good job with this pen, and I came in a pack of 3 and I just love them. So these are definitely great pens. And then the other one that I want to mention are the new designer gel pens. So this is the one from last year, and this is from the most current year. I think these pens are so nice. They are very heavy. I love the feel of the barrel. It's kind of a vegan leather, which is really nice. And they're just beautiful. Like, I just love the prints on them. The reason why they are only an honorable mention is because the ink that it comes with wasn't my favorite. It was kind of skipping. But their redeeming quality is that you can actually switch out the ink so easily and replace it with whichever one you want. So this is a Pentel Energel ink refill, and I just put it in here and it works perfectly fine in this pen. I have actually been using this pen quite a bit with that ink in it, and I really love it. So I switched out the ink in both of these. I'm really happy with them like that. I love using them. They have such a good feel, and just having an ink in it that I like just makes it all the better. And see, the problem with these ballpoint pens was that you could open them. I don't remember how, and I'll probably break it if I try. But there were no good ink refills. Like, I wanted to switch these out and make them into gel pens, but you couldn't really fit any other refills into it. I searched a lot and couldn't find anything that would fit in there. So I'm really happy about these because they're so easy to replace the ink. And then if the ink runs out, you can also just fill them back up again. While these, like, you'd never find a refill for it. So these ones are definitely some of my favorite pens right now. I definitely own a lot of pens, and so if you want to see how I organize all my pens and my planning supplies, you can check out this video right here. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.